excited. Ooh, it's working. I'm triple excited right now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our final Industry Day panel, big 20th anniversary of the Hamilton Film Festival. Thank you so much for being here, and congrats to one of our favorite festivals. Hey, yeah, come on. Nice and tight over here. I love it. You can tell this is an acting panel. Well, what it actually is the making of TV Christmas movies in Hamilton, because we make a lot of them. And if you happened to spend time with us earlier today, in the distribution panel, we actually heard that there were about 60 films, TV movies, that were made in Hamilton last year, and noticed by many of our distributor friends. So that's exciting. Yeah, let's go Hamilton. And many more. And we have some Ottawa friends here, and there is no rivalry. I don't care what anyone says. There's no rivalry between Ottawa and Hamilton. But I would like to welcome you all here to the conversation. Hey, beautiful. My name is Ann Pirvu. I am an actress and a filmmaker and live here in Hamilton, as so many of our incredible panelists today do as well. So let me introduce you to our amazing, amazing lineup. I would like to start by saying that the wonderful Jane Eastwood, celebrated Canadian icon and incredible actress, was meant to be here with us today. It regretfully cannot due to a recent health issue, but she sends so much love and special thanks and congratulations to Nathan and the Hamilton Film Festival, and we wish her all the best, you know, and we'll see her again very soon. But our panelists today, and on the end over here, we have the incredible Romaine Waite, born in Montego Bay, Jamaica, and raised in Canada. Romaine discovered his passion for performance in high school drama class, and it set the course for his artistic journey, as many beginnings do. Congrats. He began his career in theater and independent film before landing television roles on Murdoch Mysteries, The Mist. His growing list of credits includes Star Trek, Discovery, Schitt's Creek, Departure, The Clark Sisters, and his ongoing role in Season 7 of Hudson and Rex. Many of these amazing shows you probably have seen. Congratulations, good sir. Much continued success. In addition to acting, Waite writes and produces projects that highlight stories of faith, creativity, and human connection, the best kind. His debut feature as writer-producer, For His Name's Sake, exemplifies his belief in storytelling as both entertainment and inspiration. He also hosts the Weighted Room podcast, where, wow, hello, amazing, amazing podcast, where he speaks with fellow artists about perseverance, purpose, and the creative process. Please welcome Romaine Waite. Right beside the incredible Romaine, we've got Cory Lee, Juno-nominated, fantastic human being and Canadian actress and singer, known for her captivating on-screen presence. She gained recognition as Karma on the hit series Instant Star, and later as Miss O on Degrassi: The Next Generation. You go, girl. Some of her acting credits include being Erica, Private Eyes, and Rookie Blue. Cory has appeared, are you ready, in over 20 made-for-television movies for Hallmark and Lifetime and God knows how many other networks, and showcases her range and charisma in every single one. Trained as both an actress and singer, she brings depth and authenticity to every role, and her amazing strong work ethic, talent and versatility, and little angel over here in the audience. Cory Lee continues to love working and lighting up the screen. Please help me welcome Cory Lee. And last but certainly not least, the beautiful Kat Barrell, Canadian beauty, actor, director, producer, best known for her acclaimed roles as Officer Nicole Hott on Winona Earp, hello, Alicia Rutherford in Workin' Moms, and Joy Harper in Good Witch. A graduate of George Brown Theatre School, Kat has appeared in over, are you ready for this, 100 episodes of television and 15 feature films. You go, girl. Leading 9 of them and directing 2 of them, so her unique perspective in the genre is going to be a very interesting thing to discuss. today. Her performances have earned her 2 People's Choice Awards, a Canadian Screen Award, and numerous accolades from TV Line and Spoiler TV. She's actually also made her feature directorial debut with Flipping for Christmas, named one of House and Home magazine's top 10 Christmas movies of 2023, and most recently co-directed an amazing feature called Click, Bake, and Unfollowed. Please welcome the wonderful Kat Barrell. So as you can tell, we have a panel of very seasoned TV movie performers. Lovely leading ladies, incredible leading gentlemen, and well-respected actors in their own right. Now, let's start not in a hard-hitting way, in a fun way. With all of your prolific experience within the genre, what is it that you like about working in the TV movie space? Genuinely, what is it about the TV movie space that keeps you excited and coming back? Or is there anything, and there doesn't have to be, no pressure. Romaine, what do you think?
I'll go ahead and start. Thank you, first of all, for that introduction. Sometimes when you hear it out loud, you're like, is that me? Can't be me.
Yeah, it is.
But no, thank you for that. I think the first thing that came to mind when you asked that question about what I enjoy most, truthfully, it's the pace. A lot of these films, right? Yes. Yeah. a lot of these projects are done, in an expeditious way. It's very quick, so 12, 13, if you're lucky, maybe 15 days. But the pace is very quick, and so as a performer, to have that momentum is really beneficial. So as opposed to like the stop and go, the ebbs and flows of maybe I'd say a slower production, just because of setups and whatever, it allows you that opportunity to just stay in the moment, keep that energy, and allow it to flow through the rest of the day. So that's the first thing that comes to mind for me.
I love that. What do you think, Cory?
I want to say, so my mom calls MOWs romance novels, and I love that because they are. You know they're going to end happy, and I'm a sucker for romance, so it's just, oh, hello, here I am, okay. So, yeah, it's just fun. It's lighthearted. You're always, yes, it is fast and furious. It's like a boot camp. Like, you better be prepared or, like, go home. But it's just fun. It's just so fun, and I love it, and I'm a sucker for romance, so that's why I love it.
Beautiful.
I feel like the exact same as these guys. I think that it's something, there's something nice about doing. Also, I think one of the things, like I just did a Hallmark movie that's coming out this Christmas season, and it's a queer Christmas like love story, and it's
what's it called? The Christmas
it's called
Baby.
The Christmas Baby. So it's a beautiful queer couple who adopt baby over Christmas. But I think the most brilliant thing about this is that like that movie is going to be in 3 million American homes, and that opportunity, like I think these movies are really tent poles for family gatherings and where people watch them together and multi-generations watching them together, and I think they become vehicles for really powerful storytelling that, like, you know, there's going to be a queer kid in middle America who's going to see themselves for the first time and maybe is going to be able to have a conversation with their parents through the Hallmark channel. Like, that's the bridge. And so I think these movies are, you know, sometimes seen as like, oh, it's so silly and they can be fluffy and all these things, but I actually think at the core they really change a lot of people, and they can really affect a lot of people and reach many, many, many more people than a lot of other genres.
Can
I touch on that really quickly?
Yeah, please.
So I think that's the very thing that makes them what they are, is that sometimes a message can get lost in like intensity and like, you know, intention. Not to say those films aren't intentional, but you know, sometimes it's like almost like a vitamin gummy. You know, it's sweet, but it's still good for you. You're still getting some of that medication in there, right? So I agree.
Well said, yeah.
Can we expand a bit on that? Because I'm actually curious, especially since we have a varied audience here today, and for our audiences that will be watching this in hindsight. What is the difference between working on a TV movie structurally and like between a narrative feature, for example? Like Love Actually is considered an amazing, you know, romantic love film. it's not a TV movie. What are the differences between a movie like Home Alone or Love Actually and a TV movie from a structural standpoint?
The 9-act structure. So basically the TV movies follow, like, I mean, if you write one of them, there is like a clear 9-act, and a
Beats.
production company will be like, this is our outline. And even directing them, like, you have to end on your number one before you cut to commercial. So they're structured around like a 9-act commercial, whereas more of the traditional movies that people would watch are a 5-act structure. So they just have a different, like, when you're shooting them, don't you guys find, like, you're like, I know what shot they're going to go out on because this is the end of Act 4.
There is a
Yeah.
little bit of a formulaic element
Yeah,
for
for
sure. And it definitely centers around, I would say, number 1 and 2, or maybe a number 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on the story. So where I feel like a lot of more feature films, like films, are more of an ensemble. Not always, but again, depending on the story and the cast. So I definitely find those are some big differences for me.
Mm-hmm. And it's interesting, we tend to think about, and on, in general, and the number of times that I've heard, oh, I want to write one of those. Or I would, oh gosh, like I can do that in my sleep, a TV movie, right? Like, oh, how easy does it seem to be part of it? From what I'm hearing, the formulaicness of it doesn't sound so fluffy to me. Can we talk about the art that happens underneath the ease that the audiences accept and consume? From a process standpoint of working on a film like this?
I mean, I've recently, me and my husband have been trying to write some MOWs, and you think it's easy. You're like, oh yeah, there's certain arcs that usually happen, and then you get down to it. And honestly, the hardest part for us was the art of the dialogue, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
having
100%.
really
100%,
interesting
yeah.
dialogue is key, especially for a good MOW, and like getting down to those like fun comedic moments and just doing great dialogue. That is hard. That is where I'm like, oh my gosh.
And for
What
it
do
to
you think,
not
Romaine?
feel like dialogue.
Yes,
To
exactly.
feel very conversational.
100%.
Yeah, there seems to be like a balance of leaning into the genre and the tropes of the genre, because that is also what the audience is there for. Like they want to see the kind of, they want to know what they're going to expect, but have it be given to them in a slightly different way, but not too different. And like hitting that sweet spot while remaining unique is really hard.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder than
It's
people
a lot
think.
harder
Yeah.
than I was like, oh
Yeah.
wow, this is really hard.
Can we talk a bit about tone? So for people that are, not as familiar as we are, for example, with the genre, what is the tone? And perhaps we can speak to it from a directing and acting perspective to start. And how do you approach tone in general for a TV Christmas movie in particular?
So as an actor, I always think about it like if I'm the number one, if I'm the lead, like when we're saying number 1 and 2, it's like the lead is number 1, the main female, and then the main male is number 2. But if I'm doing like a number 1, I kind of always think that I am the woman watching the movie.
I love that.
So like I am the embodiment of her in the story. So number 1s have to be approachable and accessible enough that a female viewer, like this is very like business 101 of MOWs, but approachable and accessible enough that a female viewer is going to be like aspirational but not feel intimidated by. Yeah. And I think like the guy, the number 2, can be like the smoking hot smoke show because he's the fantasy. But the number 1 has to be accessible. But it's true. So when you're casting it, you've got to be thinking like your number 1 has to have a accessibility about her that is going to appeal to a primarily female viewership. But
A
however,
grounded nature.
Yeah.
The smoke show on the end there. What is your perspective as a leading man?
I don't know about
of,
smoke
of
show. I
tone
don't
and
know
genre.
where we got that. No, but I do get what you're saying.
Yeah.
100%. I think from that number 2 standpoint, you are there to support that as best as possible. But just in terms of my approach, truthfully, it remains the same. I think. The text is the text, the dialogue is the dialogue, and I think if you're being truthful to the moment, it will come out the way that it needs to come out.
I love love that. What does aspirational mean to you, Cory? When we talk about aspirational and tone.
I mean, I always find it so interesting with MOWs, especially Christmas ones. You know, they're fun, you know, they're rom-coms, they're romance novels, as I said, and even like, you know, the makeup notes. It's like natural beauty, beautiful, but like still natural. And that's like how I feel like most like leads are supposed to be in an MOW. I mean, this is a whole other conversation, but I feel like in the last like 5 years, the MOW space has like exploded in terms of very much can stray away from the norm, which I love. So I do feel like we are seeing some MOWs that don't necessarily have that picture perfect, beautiful, you know, by history Caucasian lead, you know, and that was kind of like what people kind of thought of MOWs, especially like 10, 15 years ago. So aspirational, like that's just depending on the movie, you know what I mean? But to me, it's like usually aspirational is just someone you would look up to, somebody who would want to be your friend, you know what I mean? That's kind of how I take it.
It's more of a state of mind as well as the way that you conduct yourself. Is there a certain element of grace, or are there any rules that you as a leading character tend to sort of play into or buy into as you're you know, taking part in a project?
No, it's if I may, you know, use the word hopeful. You know, I think there's a bit of hope there, and the way that I guess it would translate to the character in a specific moment is that you can't see, or they would not want to see, let's say, too much anger, you know, or too far down that spectrum where, you know, an anger in maybe a James Bond movie might feel different in the Hallmark movie. So it's like you have to allow, especially between the 1 and 2, they have to be redeemable, right? Because if you go too far to one end, it's like, oh, well, we're not going to accept him back here now after what he said to her, or she said to her, or him rather. At least that's how I interpret it, is like we can't push the emotion too far.
Well, it still has to be, I feel, with MOW, you know, since the main demographic is, you know, middle America, it has to be still accessible.
Yeah.
Like I remember I was shooting, this is an amazing story where I was like, oh wow, I was shooting like a mystery, Hallmark mystery type movie, and I see a dead body. And in my brain, if I was to see a dead body, I'd be like, oh my God. But then the director came up to me and she was like, MOW, see a dead body, please. And I was like, oh, okay. So like, she's like, so it takes you aback, but like you're not scared.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all
so
right.
the spectrum is just tighter.
Yeah,
much tighter.
It's like, yeah, so I was like, interesting. All right, yeah, get it. Got it. Okay.
Do you find yourself negotiating that spectrum on set often? Do you calibrate, and is the director helping you calibrate on set, or do you find that you kind of have to calibrate yourself do you understand the genre, or do you find that your collaborators very often understand the genre and guide you within that spectrum?
Truthfully, I don't think I've experienced that.
Cool.
I mean, there have been, you know, moments of direction, 100%, but in terms of that calibration, not really. I think a lot of times because you know you're working with fellow actors and actresses, like you feed off of each other, you know, and then if it's not working, then you'll know when it's not working.
So what does that look like when it's not working? Just for people that aren't as versed in the, you know, I love the idea of like MOW anger, or MOW. What does that mean when you're the one delivering that type of emotion?
You know, truthfully, I don't know.
Because you're a good actor.
But you know, I've received that specific direction, so I guess I do know. But to like just bring the spectrum in a little bit more, it's like the character just needs to be redeemable. That's kind of the only thing I can reference, to be honest.
I mean, I do feel like in terms of tone, you know, as you're talking about, there's kind of like an expected MOW Christmas tone. It's got to be happy. It's got to be light, you know, even if someone's died or something, you know what I mean? So there's just kind of, yeah, like an expected tone, I feel, and I just kind of usually come to set with that in mind, and if I can play a little here and there, I will, but like there's definitely like, as we talked about it, a formulaic feeling and situation that just kind of always happens.
Yeah, you know what you're going into for, and I think people as the audience and also the actors and everyone involved, you know exactly what you're going in for. You know, you don't go into McDonald's expecting the keg. You know what I mean? Like, or vice versa. Like you set it in your mind, actors set it in their mind, and then you go forward with that expectation.
We had this thing, this is like speaking of tone, I worked on a show called Good Witch for Hallmark that actually shoots here a lot in Hamilton and Dundas. And we had, and the town was called Middleton.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a phrase, we called it Middletone. So like we would do a take for, for us and how our actors wanted to do it. And then we would do Middletone, which was like more of exactly what you guys were talking about. But I think we don't talk enough as actors about like, I think we can get really precious as actors. We do our acting classes.
100%.
And we're really acting. But I think what I wish we would talk about more in theater schools and like acting classes is actually that you're producing a product and you need to know what you're selling and who your audience is. And that's like a big part of your job. Like if you're on The Boys, you know what that show is. If you're on a Hallmark movie,
Great
you know,
example.
like you're playing, you know what sandbox you're playing in or what colors
Right,
are in
right.
your whatever, you know. I wish we would do that more as actors and not feel like it's like a bad or shameful thing if we can't use like our dark black all the time. You guys know what I mean?
No, I agree
think
100%.
I think we have like this sometimes shame about working on considered lighter stuff, but I wish that we would acknowledge that it's just a different set of skills and a different type of work, and it's just has its own challenges. And it's
No,
equally as
I
good.
think the lighter stuff is good.
Oh, I love
you
it.
know,
I
you
love
don't
it
you
so
don't take it
much.
home at the end of the day.
it's
You
so
know?
Exactly.
that's the nicest part.
It's
yeah.
so fun. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a bit because I'm curious. The popularity of the lighter stuff seems to be increasing, right? And I'm without coloring it with my own perspective, I'm actually curious why you think that is, if you think that is the case, and is that the type of direction that is exciting from an acting standpoint to be a part of?
I could.
Go
Is it
for it,
okay?
go for it.
I could just speak from a personal perspective. I don't always want to have to really focus
Yes.
on what I'm watching in terms of getting the cues and the nuances and what was said and how it was said. Sometimes, to have an easy watch, a nice viewing experience is beneficial. Like I love game shows, for example. It's an easy watch. I like to see people happy and celebrate. And I think that maybe people share that with MOWs is that it's an easy watch. You can go away and come back and not feel like you missed something. You could pick up where you left off. Whereas with other narrative driven, very heavy dialogue or something like that, you miss a line here or there and you're like, wait, what did they say? Who did what? And then you got to go back an episode or something. So from my perspective, it's an easy watch. So perhaps that's why it gains popularity.
I love that. Yeah.
I concur. I mean, you don't want to eat the same food every day. You want the difference. You want to sink your teeth into different things. And yeah, I do. I love an easy watch. I'm really into it. And the MOW space, as I was touching on earlier, has really changed in the last 5-10 years with the types of actors and stories. Like literally 10 years ago, Hallmark would probably never want to touch like an LGBTQ. They didn't even want to use alcohol or the word divorce. I remember the first MOW ever did. We couldn't use the word divorce. And you're like, oh, okay. But now they do. So like times have changed, and I think people like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
so
I love easy watch. One of my favorite movies is Please Don't Judge Me. She's Out of My League. I don't know if you guys know that movie.
Great.
Anybody? No? Just me up in the back. Thank you.
all right.
Nice. Thank you, sir. That's all I need. But yeah, I love stuff like that. Love it.
What is it about heartwarming, seemingly easy watch content resonating with audiences, considering the current status of the world and the amazing roller coaster that we've had, coming out of just 5 years ago, a pandemic and a lot of interesting world events happening? What is it about that sort of comfortable, heartwarming atmosphere that this type of work provides that is resonating with audiences? There are Comic-Cons for Hallmark movies right now, right?
Really?
So when I say absolutely, there's cruises that you can go and meet the actors. And I bet, was it, Kat, have you done any yet? No.
Yeah, I want to get on one. I'm super curious.
Yeah, I'm curious from your perspective, you know, what is it that resonates so deeply? Or if you have any thoughts about what resonates with audiences specifically about the genre.
I mean, I think we all just want to feel good. It's like a beautiful bowl of fabulous soup. Like, it's like at the end of a hard day, like, we don't always want to put on like Handmaid's Tale, which is a fabulous show.
Yes.
But like, it's deep, it's dark.
Yeah, that's
Lots of feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to feel good. I want to know what I'm in for and, you know, enjoy the ride. That's, you know, why I love the MOW space.
Absolutely, I love that. Let's switch gears ever so slightly, and let's talk about Hamilton.
Hey.
Hey. Who has shot a film in Hamilton, especially a TV Christmas movie, and what is it? How was the experience?
I mean, I enjoy it just as much as any other set. I think just on a practical note, transportation is a little bit more seamless because you don't have to deal with the traffic of Toronto.
Yeah.
So going from holding to set to another location, like that can be a bit tedious. So being in a little bit of a smaller city, you know, that helps in terms of moving about.
Absolutely.
Honestly, Hamilton has like a lot of various, very different looking like sets, which is lovely, you know. You can be in Ancaster or Dundas, which is, you know, a little more dreamy, small towny.
Oh,
I
very
think I've
nice.
shot 5 movies at the Ancaster Mill alone.
Oh wow.
You know, that waterfall, it's in a lot of MOWs, I'm just telling you. That restaurant is gorgeous. Anyways, and then you get downtown. Obviously, you get the more like gritty street vibes. Like always loved shooting in Hamilton. There was one year, I want to say it was 2021 to 2022, between me and my husband's an actor as well. We literally only shot in Hamilton. I was doing a lot of MOWs. He literally did like Titans. I remember they killed him on James Street. And so every time we walk by that one church, he's like, I died there. And we're like, yes, you did. Yeah, you did die there. So, which is why I recently moved to Hamilton when I was pregnant like a year and a half ago. So I definitely now, I know Hamilton a lot better, but I always loved coming. I love the food too. I'm guessing some of you are from Hamilton, but yeah, the food here is great. Top notch.
Overall, it's a good vibe.
Yeah.
It really is a good vibe. It does have when you mentioned the different types of sets.
Yeah.
You could get a variety here. You know, you head down by the industrial section, and that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You head to Ancaster, that's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then go even further out. To like towards Mount Hope and past that section there. It gets very nice and country, the rolling hills, and very picturesque on that side. So I think Hamilton has a lot going for it, just in terms of variety and what it can offer.
Is Hamilton or Ottawa? Who shoots more MOWs? Do we know?
I'm
going
going
to say
to
Hamilton.
be complete Switzerland on this. And
No, Ottawa shoots a lot.
I think it's Ottawa. I think Ottawa definitely has.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Too bad. We need to bring more here.
Yeah, more Hamilton MOW. More
But
Hamilton.
it's not
everything.
a competition, ladies and
No,
gentlemen.
no, I
right?
don't-
The more, the merrier. The fandom is growing, and this is why we're talking about process, which is so valuable, But was there a particular reason that you asked that question, my lovely Cory?
I'm just curious because I know Ottawa shoots a lot. I've shot as well in Ottawa, and I do enjoy shooting in Ottawa because I love discovering new restaurants and stores. And give me a Valley Village in the middle of Ottawa. I am a happy gal.
Yes.
They're big and they're cheap. I loved it. Same with Hamilton though. Anyways, so yeah, I love shooting in both places. So.
Talk about doing amazing things in amazing Christmas movies. You actually also made a song that was featured in one of your Christmas movies. Can you tell me how did that experience come about? And
I mean,
how was it?
you were probably there when it came about, but you were on set. But yeah, Baking All the Way, which I shot with Vortex. Shout out Vortex,
Chris.
Hamilton production company. Very, very great. I mean, I believe we've all worked with them. And yeah, I was shooting, and they knew I was a singer, and they were like, "Hey, would you like to write an original Christmas song?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!"
You wrote it too.
And so literally, like that night, I think I wrote it. I knew I wanted to be a pop urban situation because that's what I gravitate to. So I literally think I wrote it that night, and I
Nice.
knew what studio I wanted to go to just because I've lived many lives, but I was a professional singer and artist for many years, so I just knew exactly what I wanted and where I wanted to go, and then
What about the like the instrumentation? Like, did you do that as well? Like, do you play
So,
piano, guitar?
my husband Ish, who was here, but I know our baby started screaming, so he walked out. He does a lot of production as well. So I gave him specific direction. I said, make me a beat like this song and this song had a baby, and he was like, got you, and he did.
Nice. Well, shout out to the husband for
Yeah.
coming through.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. As we start to wind down, and I definitely want to open up the floor to a lot of questions, I'm curious, two things. Number one, is there any sort of advice that you can think of for anyone, acting or otherwise, interested in the TV movie space? You know, any advice that you can impart, and then I'll ask a different question. And Romaine, if you want to take that away, or Kat, if you want to take that away. You seem like you had a thought.
I would say study the genre, like really kind of know the tone and the vibes, and
Because we know Hamilton rocks. Hamilton
Hamilton
clearly
rocks.
got the views.
Yeah.
So like
100%. If you can get on set, I mean, when I first started acting, I did a bunch of background, and it really kind of teaches you a lot on set experience, and then yeah, just classes and just putting yourself out there. I know it's hard, especially in this weird world of self-tapes where you're kind of taping a lot and sending it out to like the abyss.
The abyss.
Not getting a lot of feedback. It's I worry about new actors starting now. Like before we would
Yeah.
go into the room, we
I
would
was just
get
gonna say, think about that.
yeah, no, I think about
Think
it all the
about
time. You
someone
know,
never
I
go-
started acting
never
many
get in the
moons
room.
ago. We would get vibes from the casting director. We would feel things. We would they
Or
would
even
redirect
notes.
you.
Just notes.
Notes, like it's very rare that you get notes. Sometimes they'll be like, "Hey, can you tape again?" and like think about this or that, or the character's actually dead, or whatever it is that they give you in the moment. But like, yeah, it's very, very difficult in this self-tape space to get any feedback. So classes, get yourself out there. Don't be scared. Everyone starts somewhere. Just put yourself out there. You got this. You can do it.
I'll piggyback on that part about just putting yourself out there. I'm at a place now in my creative journey of just understanding that perfection can be a hindrance. And it's been a learning curve for me in the sense of, you can just bring it as close to what you imagined it would be as possible. And I'm referring specifically to writing, or even a project itself. I think it applies as well. And then you got to let it go. I think a big part of creativity and artistry is not only the making of it and the doing of it, but the ability to let it go and let it live with the audience, because it serves no purpose making something and keeping it to yourself.
That's so beautiful. What do you think, Kat?
Trying to think of something that hasn't already been said. You guys had such great answers. I think doing it. I agree with you. For young actors, I do worry about a lot of actors who don't get to go in the room now and don't get to get any feedback. I also feel like to cast something, I would be really nervous as a director to start casting young actors because you just have no idea if you're about to cast someone who has no clue how to handle nerves. That was such a big thing about going in the room, was feeling nervous and then having to work through it. But now I'm genuinely concerned about bringing in like a 20-year-old actor that you're casting off of a tape and them showing up on the day and just not being able to do the work because they're so nervous. So I think I would say do like student films. I mean, I remember doing really awful student films at like Sheridan College when I first started, but they were such great learning experiences. Like you have to go and do the thing, and acting is a kind of a activity you cannot do by yourself. It's a real, I mean, filmmaking in general is like
It's
such a
probably the
group.
most collaborative medium. Sorry to cut
Yeah.
you off, but
No,
yeah,
no.
it's I agree. It's the most collaborative medium. At least I think so.
Yeah, or like 48-hour film festivals. I just judged a 48-hour film festival, and I was so inspired because there were people who, you know, this isn't their full-time thing, but they love it, and they're making a movie in 48 hours, which is really hard to do. But like, you just have to do it, and do and just practice, and even it's like we have a camera in our pocket. It's so easy.
Yeah, and like social media is, you know, very much a thing, and these vertical films are coming in with a vengeance. Like, shoot a vertical film, just make it happen. Like, just do something. Like, put your craft out there.
Yeah.
There's learning in that as well about you as a
100%.
creative. And I think you said it before. You don't know what you don't know. You know, and sometimes in doing it, you get those aha moments of like, oh, that worked, or you know, that didn't work, and then you allow yourself that grace in that process, and you release it.
We're also critical of ourselves too. Like, being able to watch yourself back, I think, is a power. Like, I like to watch myself back.
You do that?
I do like it. I
Couldn't
feel like
agree
I
more.
learned so
Yeah.
much because like we're always so in our heads. We're like, oh, that
just-
take sucked or whatever, and then like
But I
I'll
know
watch
the
it.
other spectrum. Someone who's like, I never watch
No?
anything I'm in.
That was
Ever?
me. That was me for
Oh,
a
that was-
long time.
But it's interesting because, like, for me, it was always such a huge learning experience. Because if I don't know what my face is. I don't know
Yes,
what my body's doing.
you
I
need
can't
to
see it.
know.
That's why you need, so much help on set, right, to guide you.
I just trusted the director and everybody. If we moved on, that meant we got it. So I'm good to
Right.
go.
I mean, everyone learns differently, but I feel like I learn a lot watching myself just because I'm so critical of myself in my head. And then I watch back, I'm like, oh, that was way better than I thought. Okay.
And Kat, just out of curiosity, as a director of Christmas movies, how was that experience for you? How was the crossover from being a leading lady, to being behind the camera and trying to facilitate the genre?
Yeah, I love
strategy.
I really, really loved it. I really love actors. Like, I love working with actors, and I love trying to like nurture and take care of actors. So I really enjoyed that. And I feel like now, having done a lot of them, I have like an instinct for the rhythm, and that was really. And then I also feel like for my actors, there was a camaraderie and a trust that they had somebody who understood, the slog of doing a number 1 or 2, and you're like, there's no scenes off. There's no like time to learn your stuff or anything. So like, I could communicate that with my leading lady and say like, I know how you're feeling right now. Like, I get it. Like, just I need this from you, or I need that. I felt like there was an empathy and a trust that was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
100%.
Yeah.
And did your eye as an actor, did you find that useful when you were behind the camera or trying to communicate in that way?
Oh God, I don't know. I found myself making a lot of like side coaching. The hardest thing on these movies is like there's no time. They're so cramped in, and so I found like I would let the camera roll and I would side coach and like call out direction to make tweaks in a take, which I really like working that way as an actor, but sometimes other actors don't. So I don't know if that's something I could have done better.
That's
But I
fine.
don't know how to fix that with so little time. Yeah, that's tricky.
Do you almost feel like you wear 2 different hats? Like,
No, because I had really great actors who like knew they didn't need the hand holding and we would just talk about fun things. I found myself a lot of times saying like, forget that this is a Christmas movie. Like, let's just play the scene. Like, don't like get that out of your head. I'll pull you back. I'll tweak it. And also like you can do so much in an edit. You can use a little snippet of somebody laughing before they thought you were rolling. There's so much magic in editing and like how much of a medium like
fix it in post.
No, but it's true. You can tweak stuff. So it's like, it doesn't matter. I mean, when I'm acting, I stop and start in the middle of a take constantly because I know I'm going to get 1, maybe 2, and I don't want to put bad work in the can. Like, and I'm worried that if it's good enough, sometimes they have to move on.
Yes.
So I like working that way, but I know a lot of actors also like when action is called, everybody to back off and let them have their own space. So I think I communicated that with them,
Right.
with the actors before.
Right.
And I was like, heads up, We're going to be moving fast. As you guys know, I like to side coach. If you hate it, tell me now.
No, but that's that. What more could you do? That's perfect.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
made that note. That's good.
And we had a read-through, which we never, ever do. I find, like, I don't know how many times you guys have gotten to do read-throughs, but
In COVID?
no, even
Just
on
in life.
Zoom or something.
In COVID, I feel like read-throughs are like a thing of the past.
Yeah,
Sadly.
now they're kind of gone. But I found I pushed
Yep,
for it,
same.
and I just sent an email out, and I said if anybody wants to do a read through, this is like a non-obligatory thing. But almost every actor showed up, and I think it just bless you reaffirmed how valuable they are, just to hear the whole thing with all the voices all the way through.
Right.
I
So
don't
what
know.
I'm hearing, which I
Yeah.
actually love,
Yeah.
and if I'm interpreting this correctly, because I feel like each and every one of you have touched on this, right? Like it comes down to process, and it comes down to good acting. So at the end of the day, even though we're all playing to the genre and supporting each other in that process to make sure that the Hallmark movie, the Lifetime movie, is on point. Good acting is good acting, right? And collaborating in a way that is conducive to that is key.
Oh no, 100%.
Is always a winning strategy.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, like that communication piece, I think is pivotal to a successful 12-day shoot.
Marathon.
Guys, I love that. Thank you so much for your amazing insights. I wonder if it's okay to open it up to some of our friends over here to see
Yeah.
if anyone has any questions.
I want to hear from the gentleman who likes She's Out of My League. I'm kidding. We'll talk about it after.
Great. So we've got a microphone. We've got a microphone coming up here, so we'll just take turns. Sure. Go for it.
So many short films where I've like held the boom and gone to pick up the gear and had to get the insurance and like or gone and got the costumes. Like doing those roles gives you such an appreciation. And I think actors, I don't like it when actors don't crew. I just think it's really bad form, and I think it gives actors this sort of superiority complex that it's just like it's a team sport, and especially when you do MOWs, and especially when you're doing 12-day shoots, like this is not a glamorous situation. And
Even though it looks
it
glamorous.
looks really nice.
If everyone's
it's really
working together.
uncomfortable. No, but I just think you have to crew. Like you have to do the really hard work, and you will be so grateful when somebody brings you a hot sandwich, like, and you get a chair. It's just like I think you have to like go make crappy short films and do the hard stuff.
100. I want to say one of the series I was on with a lot of kids, you can probably figure out which one, but work ethic and appreciation is just key in anything you do. And the actors that were late and weren't grateful, they didn't get written in again. So like work ethic, I always say to any actor, like any advice, just in general, as I show up early, know your lines really well. You may only get one take, and just really enjoy it and thank everyone. Like these are just key things in life. And yeah, when an actor shows up to set, the wrong vibes, it brings everyone down. So yeah, just to show up with like a grateful heart and thank everyone, because everyone's doing a job. Everyone's got a purpose. They wouldn't be there if they didn't. So that's something I tell everyone, and I try to bring to set as well. So yeah, that would be my thoughts on that.
And I think it's beneficial to you as an actor to have a good relationship with the makeup artist, the wardrobe department, all these people
100.
who are essentially looking after you to make sure that you are your best, to
Lighting is key. Woo.
To put you at your best. And I'm not saying you should only do it because it benefits you, but they're there to serve the greater of the project. And I think it's beneficial to everyone to engage. And so even for me as an actor, I feel a little bit of that pressure to say, like, everyone's here for me to do this thing. And I think it shows a level of respect when you come prepared, right? When you come on time.
Yes.
Because more often than not, they're there 3-4 hours, if not more, before you, and they're there 3-4 hours, if not more, after you. So to come in with anything other than gratitude for me is like, whoa, that's.
Yeah. Then you
But-
shouldn't be an actor.
And then just on a quick note, just in terms of that gratitude, I learned very early, very early, that you are replaceable.
Oh, you're so replaceable.
You're 100% replaceable. On 2 instances, I'll give you one. Going back to when we were in the room, going back into the room, early on, you know, you doing things, you know, my way, whatever. You know, you do have a sense of confidence, and you know, you want to do things a certain way. But then when you walk into a room, and then there's other people that resemble you or look like you in a certain way, you kind of go, oh. All right.
Oh no.
You know, so immediately that there's that thing of like, and it's not like a self, you know, loathing type of thing, but you have an understanding, like, if it's not you, someone else is gonna take your place. And it's not just talent that does that. It's the work ethic, like you said. It's the showing up. It's the gratitude that really makes a difference. Because truthfully, if you think about it, who would you want to spend 12 to 14 hours with? The individual who is grateful, team player, shows up line, whatever, as opposed to the person who might be maybe extremely talented but lacks all those other things. So
true. And filmmaking is the ultimate team sport, right?
Yes.
Like, so often, like, as actors, we don't realize that, you know, we're just a tiny piece of it. And if
very small.
one thing goes wrong, right? Like, from like a location to like a truck that gets lost to like something breaking on set, a light breaking, like those all things ripple, right? So everyone's connected, and being a true team player has value far beyond what we can see in the
any
immediate
talent, any
moment.
script, any story, anything like that, any number on the call sheet.
Yeah.
It's that team effort that really makes it work.
For sure.
100%.
For sure. Kind sir, I noticed your hand up here. That's a very interesting question. Yeah.
You think twice?
There's
I
an
don't
interesting
know about
misconception.
twice as fast, but
I just want to point out
Yeah.
that some of these movies could be up to $3 million. So I don't know that TV movies necessarily lend themselves to lower budgets. However, what we are finding ourselves nowadays is like all budgets trying to be reduced on across the board. It's just we're playing in the TV movie genre, you know? So just to point that out as we please attempt to answer this amazing question, which is a great question.
I don't know if you have to shoot twice as fast, but I think you have to shoot, like I would never stand a camera down. Like I would, if you have your 2 cameras, you're always running them.
Yes.
I know sometimes on bigger shows, maybe you're standing down B-cam for some stuff, but standing down, like letting
not using it.
like the second camera team rest because you're not using it. Whereas I feel like on an MOW, I would never rest to the second camera. Like I'm like, just shoot something, anything. So maybe that helps a little bit.
Right?
Like
Coverage is
just, like,
king because
anything
we
you
are
can
moving so
shoot,
fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to make
Yeah.
sure that sometimes there's 7, 8 characters in one scene, right? So you need the coverage and the cutaways, which make any movie experience really special.
Yeah.
But you got to do it in half the time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because you got to move through.
Yeah.
So you don't want to shortchange any of the beautiful work, but it does all have to be aspirational.
Yeah.
right?
Has
So
to
it's
look
gotta
really good.
Look magical and
It's a really
beautiful,
good question.
isn't it? I think it's great. In a DP?
Oh, and a DP.
Oh.
I mean,
I think the same thing applies as we were mentioning before as actors. Like the work is still the work, you know. And I think if you present a recipe to a chef, he'll be able to facilitate that. And I think if you present an idea or a genre to a DP, I think he'd be able to facilitate that based on his skill level. I think the work is always going to be the work. It's just adjusting. Are you making breakfast? Are you making lunch? Are you making dinner? And then you make that adjustment accordingly. And then under these circumstances, it's like you got to make the meal faster.
yes.
So you might not let it simmer as long as you usually would, but you get to a place where okay, we can still serve this dish.
Here,
that
I have a
makes
good
sense.
example for you. So I just did a lovely, beautiful, small role on a very big budget American show. So to give you the example, they were doing a page and a half of dialogue the whole day. A page and a half in a 16-hour day.
We're usually like shooting 9 to 11 pages a day.
On an MOW, you're shooting 9 to, I've even had a 14-page day. This is great. That's very high. But you're shooting that much more dialogue on an MOW, and you have to assume, you're usually doing a master and then probably maybe coverage on each actor. So if you're doing a scene with, say, 6 actors, like this scene's going to take you a long time on an MOW time. That could be very I'm trying to find the right words. Basically, you're going fast and furious because there's not a lot of time. So, yeah, if you can compare the 1.5 pages, American, big budget, this is like very big budget situation, to MOW 9 to 12 pages. Yeah.
I would say like very practically. Are you a DP? Yeah. Okay, so very practically, I would say somebody who's really comfortable with a small kit. So like a lot of because you're not getting big lights, you're not getting big globes, you're not getting a crane, like you're not getting any of that stuff. So I'd say somebody who's used to working with a small kit, somebody who has documentary filmmaking experience, I think would be super valuable, because that right away tells me that's a DP that's used to working with unpredictable circumstances, and they're comfortable with like run and gun style filmmaking, which this can sometimes, like, we try to plan as best we can, but it can like skew into that. I would say, like, I'm just putting my director brain on, or producer brain, like those would be 2 things where I would go, okay, if you're a DP that's new to the genre, using a small kit and comfortable and like being creative with that, and experience on some sort of unpredictable filming experience, I think would be 2 really valuable skills if you're entering into this genre.
That's such a good
Well
point.
said.
That's helpful.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah.
Totally. And think about it this way. Light. You're playing with light because the genre isn't inherently vibrant and aspirational, right? So if you look at the thrillers, they're usually taking away light, or you know what I mean? Like it's darker, moodier, you can have more fun. It's like David Fincher, like cool shots or things like that. None of that's happening in MOWs. This is like beautiful. You got to make the everything has got to be at a certain level of graceful aspiration, right?
Lots of
So
twinkling lights in the
Twinkly
Christmas
lights and
MOWs.
vibrance and light colors.
Probably.
Yeah. So
There's
that
a quota
helps.
for like green and red, in how many green and how much green and red needs to be in a shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So totally excellent question. Anyone else have an excellent question that we might be able to answer? Oh, this is so fun. Thank you so much for your amazing insights. I have one final question, if I could ask. All of your sparkly beautifulness. Is there anything in the current Christmas season that we might be able to enjoy from our wonderful panelists? And how can people stay connected and know about whatever else you got coming up, whether it's a wonderful TV Christmas movie or not? What do you think? We can start with Romaine.
I'll go first. Well, I thankfully have 2 holiday films coming out this year. One called Very Merry Mystery, which is going to be on OWN December 13th, I believe. And
it.
then
Oprah Winfrey's network.
Yes.
Hello. That's what I'm talking
and
about.
a lot of them. They did 3 within the time period of the one that I would, anyway.
And they mostly
a
shoot
lot.
in Hamilton. P.S.
No, Ottawa too.
Oh, and Ottawa. Yeah. Well,
Ottawa too.
Oh, sorry. Yes. So there's that one, and then there's one that, oddly enough, shot a couple years ago, called Jingle All the Way to Love, and then that's going to be on Lifetime as well. Or sorry, on Lifetime. I can't remember the date of that one. So those 2 are coming out, and in terms of connection, just I guess Instagram, at Romaine Waite.
love it. What do you think, Cory?
All right, me. Hi. So I had a baby a year and 4 months ago, and I actually took the year off, which was
Nice.
lovely and very confusing for my I'm usually always on the grind and want to just hustle and go to every audition, and it was lovely just to kind of take a back seat. Anyway, so I don't have any movies coming out this year, but I have lots that replay, so hopefully you'll just see me in something. But Cory Lee Music is my handle on all of the socials, and so yeah, you can find me there.
Nice.
Good on you. It's really hard to take.
Man,
I feel you as a fellow
yes.
mom.
Yes.
It's tough. Whew. It's tough to like take the foot off the gas.
Yeah.
It was tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
I have a Christmas movie. It's called The Christmas Baby. It'll be on Hallmark on the 21st of December. I think we're a Sunday night time slot,
Nice.
which is great.
That
I
is
think
a
it's
good one.
8 p.m. It's a good one.
Yes,
And
that is a good one.
It's a good one. I'm very proud. I'm really excited for this movie. And my social handles are at Cat Barrell.
Nice.
I love that. Yay! Big round of applause, guys, for our amazing panelists. I want to thank each and every single one of you for your time and your insight and your generous spirit of Christmas magic shared with all of us. Thank you very much to all of you in the audience for entertaining and participating. We want to invite you as the Hamilton Film Board to an upcoming event that we have November 9th at Sean and Ed's. It's going to be a wonderful evening of networking and connection, bridging the gap between Hamilton-based filmmakers and all filmmakers. Welcome. So please join us for that. And we're looking forward to the holidays and more Christmas magic coming up from all of our wonderful panelists here. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you enormously.
Can
And
we
thank
give
you,
Ann as well? Ann,
Give Ann
thank
a
you.
round of applause. And where can we find you, Ann?
Very
Tell
experienced, very
your-
talented.
Yes. Tell your socials to the.
I'm
people.
at Ann Pirvu, or very generously at the Hamilton Film Board. Very happy and proud to be a part of this amazing organization. And if you're